Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Living Near Athens, Georgia. And today I've got with me David Jackson, fellow realtor and film enthusiast.
Yes, I am. Hello, everybody. Good to be here.
So David, tell us a little bit about yourself as far as how you got into the real estate business, and then a little bit more about why you like watching films so much.
So, I was working at Zaxby's in Watkinsville, Georgia, and I was a general manager over there. And it was good, everything was good. The schedule, the people, the work environment, foreseeable future. But after being there for about, I think 3 years, I decided this isn't it for me, right? And so in front of me, I saw that I had two options. That I could either go to real estate option or do a director screenwriter option.
Very interesting.
And I definitely thought that the director screenwriting option was more of a hobby. So I chose real estate.
Gotcha.
And I thought that was just so much better, just for me as a person, just for my personality. Just talking to people, being in front of them, getting to know who they are, getting to know their families, and helping them make this, expensive life choice that they might make for the next 10, 20, 30 years. So
yeah, for definitely for a very long time, the impact is definitely felt, and when it's done great, it's almost like, in a sense, you're not there. You kind of pass from memory. But if it's a really terrible or bad experience, you'll be like Thanksgiving talk for the next 25, 30 years.
Oh, exactly.
But yeah, interesting enough, I also have a background in with Zaxby's. My dad had one in Atlanta for many years, and I grew up doing a very similar thing.
Okay. Did you like it?
I found out it wasn't completely my cup of tea. I mean, it's great for some people. It's just not me.
Understand that, definitely.
So that being said, real estate on one side, screenwriter, filmmaker on the other end. They seem rather different from each other. What was the why those two in particular?
Well, I've always liked the whole process of how is home constructed. I love the idea of helping people find a home, right?
Yeah.
So that always stuck with me probably since high school, and I never actually knew what I wanted to do with that. I just liked the idea, and so after a while, it's like, wow, I can actually see myself doing this as a career, just helping people and being honest, being authentic, So that's pretty much what I wanted to do. That's the career path I chose to do after I left Zaxby's.
Right. And that surface side is definitely, it is definitely very important, whether it goes spoken or not. Again, with the whole idea of when you have a really good experience and you're satisfied, you go away happy. People forget, and that's nothing against anyone. It's just human nature itself. But when you don't have it the way it needs to be, which unfortunately sometimes that's how it plays out. People don't answer their phone, or they're they never get back with you, or blatantly overlook things, and it turns out to really harm the actual client in the long road.
I definitely agree when it comes to customer service, right? I know when I was working, what I want to do is someone comes in and orders something. It's like, okay, I can tell this person's in a bad mood. Well, I'm going to put all of my good, happy energy into making sure this guy walks out of this store in a better mood when he walked in. And mostly that's what I did, and I think that's why I enjoyed working at Zaxby's so much, and I found some success from it.
Yeah, because you were able to find and have that actual impact. We used to make a similar joke at my dad's store. Is lunch hour would come around, and they would draw straws at the office about who had to go get everybody food, and that person that showed up it always seemed like they were just having the worst of day, and
Mm.
maybe rightly so, they were having a rough day, but it's encouraging to know there are good people out there that want to help make things better, whether it was their fault or responsibility to begin with why somebody's in a bad mood. You can have impact, I can have impact, we can make things better for people.
I agree 100%.
So how does that correlate to the screenwriting? How you find service in screenwriting and analyzing films and that sort of thing?
Well, screenwriting, films, and real estate, they're kind of similar, right? Process is similar to an extent. So, what you do before you start looking for homes, you find a realtor, you get pre-approved. When it comes to screenwriting and making movies, what do you do before you make a movie? Pre-production, you find a producer, you find your cast, you
gotta have a script
too.
You have to have criteria. It kind of limits you. You can't just go out with the camera and just start shooting whatever. You have a criteria. This is what the movie's going to be.
Yeah, so if you just pick some random person off the street, say, hey, I want you to play Batman. Well, you probably don't think that person can play Batman. So you have to narrow who you're looking for to play a character.
You gotta be pre-approved.
Definitely. So, both of those things are, consistently at what they do. There's a process that comes along with, buying a home and making a movie. And, I enjoy both of those processes. I think, for me personally, real estate is a career that I could potentially see myself doing, long term.
Exactly.
And screenwriting, directing, I feel like that's more of a hobby, but I still enjoy the process of how it's done. And, I still like going to the movies and watching movies and the whole film industry. I really enjoy.
So as far as movies goes, what is kind of your favorite genre or favorite directors type of, what do you enjoy watching?
I enjoy watching just about everything Christopher Nolan puts out. That is that's my number one director right there. And funny enough, when I was in high school, I had this idea like, man, I wonder if anyone made a movie about, dreaming the entire time. Or what about a movie where they're dreaming and they're dreaming?
Oh no.
Seems kind of cool. But anyways, I just kind of
you could have
let it go.
You could have wrote the spec script.
And then a couple of years later, I go,
He stole your idea.
What's this? What am I watching, right? And there was Inception right there on the screen, which, incredible job. It's one of my favorite movies, but yeah, that could have been me. It could have been me. We never know.
If Christopher Nolan is watching this video, you need to hire this guy to buy a house and write your next movie because number one biggest fan.
Definitely, all your stuff.
So how would you, on a similar thought, we've already gone over it just a little bit, but the whole, when you're a brand new home buyer, sometimes we like to get things out of the way. Maybe it's because of lack of knowledge, because maybe no one's ever told us before, or sometimes it's to getting a rush or getting the, I guess what I'm trying to say is getting the cart before the horse. Why do you think process is so key to making that transformative, happy client satisfaction type of experience in the home buying process?
I think it's so crucial and beneficial to have a process down because, if, let's say for me, for example, let's say if you're my realtor and you start showing me homes that I like, that's 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, and I'm like, wow, I love this home. Yeah, let's put an offer on it. It's like, okay, cool. And you've been showing me homes for the last 6 weeks. Come to find out, I can't even afford the lawn care that goes into this property, right? So in order for me to not waste your time, because your time is valuable, and in order for me to get to a home that is within my budget and that I could live in, and not necessarily out here just window shopping, right?
Mhm.
There's a process of, you know, getting pre-approved, making sure I'm talking to a lender because I'm not a cash buyer, and I'll be able to find a home that's within my budget. So that's why it's just so important to have these processes in place, just to make the transaction go as smooth as possible. And so you be able to tell your client, hey, you know, found this great home for you. Let's go have a look. And I might happen to fall in love with it, and the whole process just went so smooth because of my realtor. So I think that's why it's so important.
Yeah, I guess maybe I would equate it almost like if you have like almost like a guerrilla type of like film crew where it's like, okay, we're just gonna go out on the street and just start shooting whatever, and then you don't have a script, a criteria. You may be able to go out, play in the street for a little bit, have a good old time, but when you get to the end of your post-production and actually stitching together, actually, you know, editing and putting together the sound and actually making the movie,
Right.
you're going to have all of these jumbled pieces. Well, does this part go here? Does that go there? We use this? Do we cut that? You don't have an actual story, which is the experience we're trying to create for our clients, your clients, my clients. We want it to be concise and precise because, like you've said before, anything else beyond that is wasting people's time, causing heartbreak, embarrassment. I mean, it can be kind of embarrassing if you go make an offer on the place you can't afford or you don't have that pre-approval, and then like hopefully the other people are nice, but on the rare occasions sometimes they're not, or you just get completely ignored and you get no answer. You know why? It's because you didn't come prepared, which again doesn't serve me, doesn't serve you, doesn't help serve the client. It makes everybody sad and a very bad time.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You know, you don't want to be stuck somewhere. Like if you have a movie and, you know, that movie literally just stuck in the middle and there's no ending, it just ends. Opposed to just stuck looking for a house.
In that second
and there's
act.
you don't find a house. Like, okay, what am I going to do now? So it's definitely have those processes in place.
Absolutely, for sure. So David, how can people get in contact with you to either, I guess, go see a great movie or maybe talk about buying their home or selling their home to what your process would be to, you know, help them there? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, always through social media. My Instagram and Facebook is David Jackson Realtor.
Okay.
I always answer for the most part. If it's, you know, after 10, I'm most likely sleeping. But
Right.
you can always stop by my office. It's in Watkinsville, 1361 Jennings Mills Road.
Good old KW.
Good old Keller Williams.
Yeah.
I'm there normally about 9:30 to maybe about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I go home and do some work at home and get into family time.
Right on. Well, thank you, David. Thank you for coming out, and
Yeah.
glad to have you on the show.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.